Wonderful, and I can see that we've got a number of people joining in tonight in our audience. Welcome to everyone that's joining in so far. I can see we've already got 14, 15 people joining in straight away. So I'm just going to give it one extra minute before we officially jump into our Graduate Careers event. But thank you very much for all joining us. We've now officially hit over 20, so I might actually just get straight into it so we're not wasting anyone's time today. But good evening, everyone, and welcome officially to our Graduate Careers event. We're very excited that you're joining us tonight, and we actually cannot wait to tell you more about the opportunities here at Everyday Independence and how you can take the first step in an interdisciplinary social model as a practitioner joining in 2025 or in our mid-year intake this year. Thank you for being here. I hope it's very memorable for you and also equally inspiring. First, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which our site is held and pay our respect to elders past and present, thanking Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders for their continued connection to land, waters and community, acknowledging the important role they play within our communities. At Everyday Independence, we begin every meeting with a reminder of our mission and purpose. It's a reflection of what we strive to achieve every day. So as you can see there, our mission is to strive every day to lead and support individuals, their families, communities, and our nation to become global leaders for inclusion. We are deeply passionate about our work, and we were involved in the trial phase of the very beginning of the NDIS, and it became very apparent after 2 to 3 years into the NDIS that expectations for people living with a disability were very low. This realisation fueled our determination to raise that bar. So by gathering evidence from around the world, we explored what is possible with capacity building, therapeutic supports, and that led to the creation of the Everyday Way. So our mission is to set the bar high, make inclusion a reality for all Australians, and to lead the world in this endeavour. The NDIS is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, positioning us not only as national leaders, but as global pioneers for transforming opportunities for people living with a disability. So what I would like to do to capture our why is to share a video with you that I feel best demonstrates why we do what we do.
I think what really attracted me to working at Everyday Independence was that they work in the social model. I was really passionate about wanting to work with people and their families on really functional outcomes. And when I heard that that's what Everyday Independence was all about, I knew that they were probably the right people for me. It definitely can be scary and daunting when you first finish university and just wondering, what are the expectations going to be like? What are the families going to be like? What if I don't know everything as well was something that I was really worried about, but I had no need to be worried at all. I was really supported, and as I said, having mentors that you can go out with and actually see how things are done, or on the other side, the mentor can come out with you as well and give you that feedback in real time as well. Everyday Independence has allowed me to think about what I want from my career as a speech pathologist. It's really allowed me to think about the growth that I may be able to have with Everyday Independence and open up opportunities that I don't really think I knew were possible before working here. So pretty much from day one, people are speaking to you about where do you see yourself professionally and how can we support you to get there. And that's amazing to work for somebody who really values that.
Cool. So like Sienna said in her video, we really want tonight to be an opportunity to share insights with you about who we are, what we do, what you'd learn as a new graduate, what our supervision structure and support looks like. But I don't want you just to take my word for it. I want you to hear it directly from 2 new graduates who have joined us this evening as well. and you will have lots of time to ask them questions as well at the end during a Q&A. So tonight you'll get clarity on what the career pathways look like as a new graduate joining Everyday Independence. You'll learn about the support structures that set you up to have success in your role, not just for your first 12 months, but for your career as a practitioner. We want to give you the skills that are going to set you up for a lifetime career, particularly within the interdisciplinary learning space, which we know is unique and harnesses our ability to support others. And also you'll hear those real life stories from graduates who will speak about their experiences, the challenges, the wins, and what they get out of the current support model. Now, I'm Danielle Jones, and I'm actually really glad to stand here tonight and say I am a new graduate that started at Everyday Independence approximately 8 years ago. And this is a photo of me on my very first day on my way to work, and the smile says it all. But behind that, there was a lot of nerves, a lot of curiosity as to what my day would bring, and I have not looked back since. So that's my passion area of being an occupational therapist, and over the years I've transitioned into a number of different roles such as a team leader, a mentor, and now an area lead where I get to support others on this journey. So let's talk through our promise. At the core of all of our efforts, our commitment is to empowering individuals, ensuring that everyone has an opportunity to actively engage in their communities. Our vision is we aim for a future where everyone, regardless of their background or their abilities, has a chance to fully participate in society. And our purpose is that inclusion is more than just a goal for us, it's action. We work to break down barriers that hinder community involvement, with purpose driving us to create lasting change. Here are our values on the screen, and they embody everything that we do. We are closely aligned with the social model of disability, and these values resonate with every single individual or stakeholder at Everyday Independence, whether you're a practitioner, an admin team member, or a participant accessing these services. We're all focused on building skill, confidence, and achieving personal goals. Change the game is that we want to change the game for people living with a disability to accelerate social change by speaking up with respect, pushing more to focus on people's abilities, and being part of a solution, not the problem. We inspire with belief by envisioning what is possible for people, trying to inspire the people around them to believe in themselves and others so that inclusion is truly a reality and not just a goal. We champion the person with person-centered practices that are central to our work, whether that's reports, face-to-face sessions, or indirect tasks. That embodies the social model of disability that I've already mentioned is highly important to us as an organisation. And then we simplify and go. We know that throughout all of this, we want to remove the noise and focus on what's important for both people and also our team members as well, so we can make our work as easy as possible. And last but not least, one team with purpose. This is at the core of everything we do. It unites us around our why, our purpose, and we recognise the unique skills, knowledge, and potential that we all bring to the table, including our practitioners, our admin and our support teams, but most of all, our participants and their supports. We want to celebrate each person's unique skills. We want to develop a culture where everyone feels that they have something to bring to the table. So we learn by doing and working together and being accountable as well, that when we say we're going to do something, we follow through and do it. So I've mentioned already a few times about the everyday way, and you might be sitting there thinking, what is it? So how I want to describe it is by sharing a story with you that I think captures it. So an OT was referred to us to submit an assistive technology request for a new wheelchair for their participant. However, during the assessment, it was discovered that the real issue wasn't the need for a wheelchair, but the large potholes on the path to the local shops. All it took was contacting the local council to fill the pothole. That story highlights the importance of removing the barriers in an environment rather than focusing on a person's disability. Quite simply, once the pothole was fixed, the participant was able to go to the shops easily. Now, that is how we demonstrate champion the person and inspiring with belief. So as a change maker, the key focus is focusing on what someone can do rather than what they can't. By highlighting the abilities and the potential, seeing the strengths, you inspire possibilities and not limitations. The everyday way has been proven for about 25 years to be the most impactful way to create positive change for team members, but also communities. It's about measuring outcomes and demonstrating a return on investment that the money being spent is making an impact. It encompasses a social model of practice where everyone associated with the participant accepts their differences and shares responsibility for changing the disability attitudes and the physical environments that prevent their independence. The everyday way, the way we deliver interdisciplinary services means that we're looking at therapy from a range of different angles, which is absolutely necessary when we're working holistically. We use the Everyday Lead tool, which is an acronym for Life Enhancing Ability Development System. The Everyday Lead was developed at Everyday Independence and is based on international best practice. And we had an organisation called Orima, who is a research organisation, be actively engaged to consult and advise on the tool development, which was 2 years in the making. The purpose of this tool is for our participants to lead your life, become the person you want to be, and accomplish the things you want to do. We also have habit coaches at our service, which are our allied health assistants, and it's a very cost-effective model and an impactful way to build routines where our participants are practicing the skills that we want them to embed into their activities. And Everyday Independence, I'm really glad to say, is leading the way when it looks at this model of practice. Lastly, we work in therapy sprints. So our goal is for therapy to support a person's growth without becoming their identity. We step into someone's life when it's needed, we help them build a skill, we set them up for success. This means that we might be involved for a few months and then step back. We might be involved for 6 months and then take a step back. We're moving away from a traditional model of weekly or fortnightly sessions, instead just focusing on building a skill, building independence, and then supporting that person to maintain it. The Everyday Way also works closely with the NDIS as well to meet their goals and expectations. We want our participants to buy well and get better value outcomes for their funding in a smarter and more impactful way. So we're looking for people to join us and to learn these skills so you can continue to mentor, guide, support others, or in the future become subject matter experts to further guide newer generations of therapists joining. And why work in disability? If you were to ask me that question directly, I'd say, why not? It's fantastic. It's a great rewarding based role to support you to really build on your skills quickly and also focus on your career for years to come. When working in the disability sector, we have to recognise that we are working with people for long-term outcomes. It's not quick, sometimes it's not easy. So that means we're working with people over the course of months and years to achieve skills. The beauty of that is we get to truly know our participants and the people around them. We get to see what's happening in their lives, be part of their story, and see big life-changing goals come into place. The longer the sessions that we have with people as well means that we're better able to understand and influence their routines for long-term change. So it means that we're able to build rapport, sometimes challenge what the status quo is, and actually support people to create long-term change. It's also great for career growth because you have unique opportunities to continue to grow your skills. It is a growing space as well with endless possibilities. So tonight I want to introduce our speakers I'm delighted to welcome Meg Walker, who is our graduate speech pathologist here tonight, and also Meg Gardner as well, who is a graduate occupational therapist. Now, for the purpose of tonight, because we have Team Meg on, I will be using Meg W and Meg G when we move into question time. So if you could also mimic that as well in your Q&A or in the chat if you'd like to have a question directly to Meg Gardner or Meg Walker, that would be wonderful. But thank you, Megs, for joining us. So before we hear from Megs or Team Megs, I'd like to focus on talking to you a bit about the program in more detail. So I'm really proud of our unique graduate program. Our program prepares you to work in the NDIS sector by marrying what you already know as a new graduate with what you need to know when working in the sector. After completing your grad program, you can really work anywhere. So we know at uni you'll gain valuable information and skills in your chosen discipline. So if you're an OT, a speech, a physio, you'll understand those core concepts of your role. This is often taught, though, through a medical model lens, where you do focus on impairments and the challenges that an individual faces. Here, you'll learn to extend on those skills by working in that social model of practice with a holistic lens and also in a strength-based manner, which means you'll be able to change people's lives and focus on what they can do, which is pretty significant. You'll also learn the best practice principles as a clinician, but you'll also learn about professionalism in the workplace as well. At EI, we want to support you to take the next step in your career by experiencing the social ecological model of practice as part of that interdisciplinary team. So on this slide here, I want to demonstrate to you the different levels of support as part of your graduate program. So there are 7 key parts. I'm going to start at the very top and work around in a clockwise direction. So your first support is your clinical supervisor. That is an experienced practitioner and they're your main support for a clinical individual. They're going to facilitate a fortnightly group supervision program along with your one-to-one supervision sessions as well. So that's going to support you from a caseload management, report writing, and just being able to break down different challenges you might be facing with your caseload and have solutions as around how do you actually manage and respond to that. Secondly, you would have your induction supervisor. So that is an experienced practitioner who shadows and supports you during initial sessions when you first start at Everyday Independence. So they're going to come out with you, go along for your first few sessions, help support you to navigate the systems, utilize the Everyday Lead assessment tool, but also navigate the conversations with practitioners, families and participants around service agreements, what their goals are and what they want to get out of therapy services. Next is your team leader. So they're going to support you with your calendar building skills, professional habits. They're going to check in regularly with you on your therapy planning, how things are going, but also supporting you from a well-being perspective. So you can go to them for support if you're feeling a bit unsure as to who to go to or what to do, and they'll support you in the right direction. Next is your fellow graduate peers. And I think this is one of the most impactful levels of support that we do have here at Everyday Independence. Gives you the opportunity to learn alongside other graduates who are experiencing some of the same things that you're going through as well. Means you're able to reflect alongside them, meet with them regularly and understand, hey, what do I do in this situation? I know we spoke about it a few weeks ago. Do you remember? You meet with them 3 times every month as part of a group supervision and clinical reflection session. And that is also an interdisciplinary model as well, where you'll get to work alongside other disciplines and practitioners. Next is your hub and your teammates and your fellow admins. So your teammates are really your informal support network. It means you can turn to your left and ask them a question, means that you can tap them on the shoulder if there's a coffee run and get to know each other as well. They're a great way to be able to understand the little moments of your everyday role. And given that we're all using the same tools, systems, and resources, they're actually a wealth of information. In the same way are your local admin team. So your admin will help support you with technology, systems, scheduling appointments, and also even following up with participants as well if you're struggling to get in contact with them. It's incredibly valued to have an admin team because it means you can delegate tasks and opportunities and work alongside them to support you in your role. And number 7, the last one, is being supported by subject experts. Subject experts are people who are across the best practice information in their respected fields. So they support learning through communities of practice, which is a monthly lecture-based format session to talk about best practice principles, latest information to support you in your role. These are online and sometimes even I find run at a local hub level where everyone sits around and likes to watch these ones together. They can be discipline specific or interdisciplinary as well, meaning you'll get a huge range of skills specific to your discipline, but also transferable knowledge that you can use with your entire caseload. They also run check-in sessions, which is called everyday therapy mentoring, which means you can jump online and almost a bit like phone a friend from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, be able to ask a question that you might have on your mind. So I hope you can see from that slide the multiple levels of support that is available to you as a new graduate. The graduate program also includes a structured learning curriculum, which covers both the foundational learning skills, but also the discipline-specific curriculum as well. So our graduates undertake a 12-month targeted learning program in addition to the clinical supervision and support models that I previously mentioned. The curriculum reflects the core knowledge and skills which grads need to know when working in this field, and that's been based on feedback from our graduates as well over the course of the last few years. These learning sessions are tailored to each discipline, not only to cover the technical skills, but also to be able to focus on some game-changing conversations such as coaching or courageous conversations, which are valuable skills for you for your whole professional life and career. In addition to this, though, you can also access external PD with a PD budget, and that allows you to follow your career passions and what you might want to know more about. This can go towards workshops, conferences, online learning, and more. So in short, our graduate program has it all, with 7 points of support for our graduates and a comprehensive learning curriculum in both your discipline, but also for working in the sector of disability. It means you get your career off to a cracking start. So I previously introduced our wonderful graduates, Meg Walker and Meg Gardner. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. How are you both feeling?
Feeling good, feeling excited.
Glad to hear. Excellent. Well, I'll start off with a bit of an easy question for you both, but I'd love to know, why did you choose Everyday Independence?
Well, I chose Everyday Independence because I was actually fortunate enough to complete my student placement there, which allowed me to experience the everyday way firsthand before joining the graduate program. I really enjoyed the supportive and dynamic environment, which played a significant role in my decision to become part of the team.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Meg Walker. And what about yourself, Meg Gardner?
I also did my 4th-year placement at Everyday Independence at the same time as the other Meg, so it was just as confusing then. But I actually decided to start my grad year somewhere else. So the hub that I did my placement at was about an hour away from home. And at the start of my grad year, I thought I just don't want the commute. But after doing a few months in my first role, it just wasn't the right fit for me. And I just kept thinking back to Everyday Independence. So I thought, I'm going to try it. I'll see how the commute goes. And it was just so absolutely worth it for me. I love coming to work every day. I love the interdisciplinary approach that Everyday Independence has. I've been able to work with speechies, physios, key workers, positive behaviour support practitioners. It's just so valuable, and it just has such amazing impacts on our participants. And just being in the community as well, I just love getting to see participants where they actually spend their time. So yeah, it's awesome.
I love how you both had a very similar start to your journey. I am going to ask though, so you've both had placement here at Everyday Independence. Was there a key moment in your placement that you particularly loved or really stood out to you?
I think for me, I really enjoyed so on Wednesdays we have our team meeting in the morning, and then generally most of the practitioners hang around for a bit. And that's something that really stuck out to me as just being a great time to connect with colleagues and just bounce ideas off each other. And just, yeah, I think working in community can be tough because you are sort of on your own on the road a lot of the time. But just having that opportunity on a Wednesday to really connect with everyone else in your team was just, yeah, it was really good.
I look, I can't say what my favorite part of the week is, but Wednesdays is a very strong one for me. It's just nice seeing everyone connecting, and I think that's a real theme of it in the morning as well. Thanks, Meg. What about Meg Walker? What was a standout moment on your placement?
Think it was a big mixture of things. I think definitely the Wednesday mornings, I agree. I think being able to see the impact in action, even being a student and making an impact was really rewarding. And I also think having that time in the car to yourself a little bit is nice to just have a self-reflection, debrief, and then jump into the next session, half an hour later. Having that little gap in between sessions was also good.
It's a good chance just to quickly reset and get ready for the next one. Yeah. So I'm going to put this question out there. I'd love to know, what has been your experience of everyday independence supervision?
So I've had excellent supervision experiences at Everyday Independence, and really appreciate the balance of both group and one-on-one sessions. So the individual supervision allows for tailored guidance specific to my caseload, while group sessions provide a valuable opportunity to hear from other new graduate speech pathologists across the organisation. It's a great space to ask questions, support one another, and share experiences, all with the guidance of our clinical supervisor to help us navigate challenges together.
Oh, beautiful. And you've mentioned your clinical supervisor there. Could you tell me a little bit more about them or what their background is?
Yeah, so she's a speechie. She's worked at Everyday Independence for, I think, 4 or 5 years now. And she is just like me, works with individuals across the lifespan, both pediatric, adolescents, and adults, and works, doing speech, language, AAC, social communication, and mealtime. So the big mixture.
Huge mix, which, I think for our audience really demonstrates how we want to get a good alignment for the mentor with who's supporting you as well as a new graduate.
Yeah.
Could you give me an example of what you've taken to supervision recently?
So I will have some sessions where I'm not quite sure what to do the next session because I'm not getting anywhere, or a tricky case. And she's just really supportive in giving me ideas for things that I haven't thought about before, or letting me know that I am on the right track and I am doing the right thing. So yeah, it's a big mixture.
Yeah, reassurance, but also a collaborator and can give you direction. And I think I speak for so many people in this industry. It's great to have someone in your court that way, regardless as to what stage of your career you're at, but in your new grad year, particularly helpful.
Yeah.
Now, thanks, Meg Walker. Meg Gardner, I might put this question to you. Who do you find is the most important member of your supervision team? So we've heard about the 7 different levels of support. Who's your go-to or your standout?
I would say my team leader, who is also my therapy mentor, is the most important person in my supervision team. She's there for my one-on-ones every week. She offers support when I need, any time, really. She's really approachable. If I send her a message on Teams or an email, she responds most of the time straight away, which is amazing. She helps me proofread reports, as that's something that I'm still building my skills with. And she also just empowers me to become my own therapist. She's not sort of trying to mold me into the same person that she is or the same therapist that she is. So I think that's a really powerful thing, to have someone back you up and just, want you to develop your skills into the way you want to be.
Absolutely. You want to be your own authentic person. You don't want to be the next whoever it might be. Be yourself. Now, you mentioned at the beginning that you meet with her weekly. How do you fit that into your calendar and set it up so that you're consistently meeting? What does that look like?
So usually we'll just find a time every week where we've both got a free hour. It's usually on a Friday because we don't have too much client-facing time on Fridays, both of us. So usually a Friday afternoon or a Wednesday if we're both got an hour free as everyone's already in the hub, but it's sort of just flexible week to week of what works. Or if I have a tricky case or something that I need sooner, I'll just say, hey, have you got spare time to chat? And then she'll usually either put it in an email or set up an extra meeting or something to make it happen so she can answer my questions. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, Meg Gardner. I'll go back to you, Meg Walker. What are you currently covering during your supervision at the moment?
So the focus of each supervision session depends on the format. So in the group sessions, we begin by sharing general practice related questions with our clinical supervisor, followed by more specific discussions on caseloads and participants. In my most recent group session, for example, we reviewed key takeaways from the latest speech pathology community of practice and explored how we can integrate those insights into our own practice. And then during our one-on-one sessions, the focus then shifts to more participant-specific and caseload-related questions where I receive support in completing case notes and reporting. Meanwhile, sessions with my team leader at the hub emphasize building strong professional habits, effectively managing caseloads, and optimizing my calendar for productivity.
And I might ask you a question very similar to what I asked Meg Gardner before. It's a lot of meetings that you mentioned. Oh, I might meet in a group and then I'll have one-on-one. How do you integrate that across your week or your month?
So group mentoring typically happens fortnightly, and then my one-on-one with my mentor happens monthly. And my meetings with my team leader alternate between a 30-minute meeting and an hour meeting fortnightly. And it's just about months before checking in, it's sort of setting that up so it is in the calendar well in advance and it slots in pretty easily to my calendar.
Excellent. It sounds like it's almost this rhythm that you just kind of rotate from one meeting to the different one the following week and so on from there.
Yeah, it's a good flow.
Yeah, you need a good flow, don't you?
Yeah.
Thank you, Meg Walker. And I'll ask this one back to yourself, Meg Gardner. Are you finding group peer reflections in the group clinical supervision sessions helpful?
Yeah, definitely. I find that the peer supervision sessions, having the interdisciplinary team there is so valuable because you sort of go in and you sort of think you've got, an idea of maybe what people will answer. And I feel like at uni, you're sort of trained to think in a specific way as an OT. And then you have like the physio will chuck something in and then the speech will say something different. You think, oh, I never even thought of that. So it's honestly such a wonderful space to be able to share like things that you're finding tricky and also provide your own suggestions as a different discipline to the other new grads. So yeah.
What a nice way to give yourself a confidence boost as well.
Yeah.
Supporting others whilst they're supporting you. How many people are in the group supervision sessions?
I don't know on a whole how many would go, but they usually get broken into smaller breakout rooms of maybe about 4 or 5. And then we sort of rotate through. Everyone gets a chance to bring like a case that they want to discuss. And then, everyone gets the opportunity to hear everyone else's feedback.
That was actually going to be my next question. How do you make sure everyone has a chance to have their question answered? Because you'd want to make sure that the time's equally shared.
Yeah, so there's supervisors that also attend in the sessions, and then they'll set like a timer. So the breakout room will be open for say 5 or 10 minutes. And then everyone will discuss one person's case study to start with. And then after that, they'll say time to swap, and then we'll move on to the next person and then sort of repeat the process.
Beautiful. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, exactly right.
So I'll put this question out to you both because I've just been slingshotting between you both. My question is, have you got a rewarding story that you'd like to share with us tonight where you've had impacts with one of your participants here at Everyday Independence?
Yes, I've actually loved sharing this story. I've been updating my hub every week with this one, so I thought it would be a good one to share. So I've been working with this participant for 4 months, and she's a 26-year-old and has cerebral palsy, and she's in a wheelchair and she's nonverbal. She has not had any way of expressing her wants and needs or making any choices over the past 3 years. The previous speechy had just introduced a device, but this was not carried through once services stopped. And I have now just reintroduced the device, and we have been targeting making choices for music. At first, she was not engaging with the device, so I spent many sessions just modeling it with no expectation, as well as capacity building all of her supports to do so as well. Then she started to reach out and touch the device, and now she's fully making intentional choices, which is really exciting. And she now plays a game of throwing her toy on the ground and tapping on the device that she wants me to pick it up. And she's also started saying 2 words. She's saying I for hi, and also saying x for thanks in our session whenever, she gets what she wants in the session. And her family and supports are super proud and happy with the progress. And yeah, it's just a very exciting situation.
And I can just hear it in your voice and see it on the smile on your face, how proud you are of it as well. And particularly as well, the fact that the family and the people around them are expressing gratitude and seeing that huge change. So Meg, well done. I wish we had a clap function here so you could hear it from our audience, but congratulations.
Thank you.
Meg G, what about yourself?
I don't have a standout participant where I've had a really big impact like Meg Walker's talking about, but I think just on the whole, I've had lots of small comments from teachers, families, support people for my participants saying, oh, this strategy that you suggested worked. I can really see the difference. Just little comments like that, I think have been super rewarding, especially as a grad, because you sometimes get in that sort of imposter syndrome sort of mindset a little bit, and you sort of think, is what I'm doing actually helping? But it's just been really rewarding to hear feedback just on the whole from a range of different people that, yeah, what my therapy is doing is actually making an impact. Yeah.
The beauty of community work when you're meeting so many different people around our participants, whether it's a parent, a grandparent, an auntie, a friend, a support worker, a teacher, it opens yourself up to get feedback through so many different points of communication. But I just want to say, I think so many people will resonate hearing with your story purely with the fact that we talked about how working with people with a disability can be a long process in terms of supporting them with those big goals and those life-changing outcomes. And it's these little moments across your week or across your day that's these beautiful little breadcrumb moments that you can see that the change is coming and you can see those smaller impacts happen. So congratulations, Meg G. It's so beautiful to hear that you're being recognised for the work that you're doing as well. So if you do have more questions for our Megs tonight, please pop them into our Q&A channel. We will be addressing those ones probably within the next 5 to 10 minutes. But in the meantime, though, I am just going to continue sharing my presentation and slides so that we can continue to work through the remainder of the presentation this evening. So you did hear from Meg Walker and Meg Gardner, but I do also have a couple of TikTok videos here as well that do demonstrate the day in the life of an interdisciplinary practice graduate. And we will hear from Emily and how she's found that experience. And then I will leave Belle for you to be able to look in your own time, jump on TikTok, watch her story as well, so you can see the variety of the different experiences that our graduates have.
Hi, I'm Emily, a physiotherapist at Everyday Independence. Come spend a Monday with me. I joined my group mentoring session from the car today as my first session was at a gym, and I had a couple of cancellations today, so I headed into the office where I found these fun Christmas decorations. As I was in the office today, I was able to catch up and collaborate with the OTs and key workers that form our interdisciplinary teams, and I took a movement break in the sunshine and had my lunch, and then I used the rest of my time to catch up on some admin and start a PD on aquatic physio. Then my final session for the day day was at the pool, and then I finished my day playing netball with friends.
So just a nice short video to show what a day in the life looks like. The second video by Belle, one of our wonderful OTs from our Bayside Hub, does demonstrate what a Wednesday looks like in the hub, which I know that both of our Megs have spoken to, which is part of their favourite moments of their week. But now I would like to hand over so you can hear from my other guest who has joined us tonight, Mel. Thank you so much, Mel, for joining us. Would you like to introduce yourself and your role at Everyday Independence?
Yes, so my name is Mel. I am a talent acquisition consultant here at Everyday Independence. I've been with the company just under a year now. So our role is to look after you from your first inquiry to your first day on the job. Our dedicated talent acquisition team is here to guide you every step of the way. So we support you through the application process, prepare you for the interviews, ensure all compliance checks are completed smoothly. We celebrate with you as you commence your new exciting career with us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mel. And you would have a very familiar face and voice to so many of our graduates who've probably met and worked with you as part of that onboarding experience. Can you tell us a little bit more about the nitty-gritty and what it looks like as an everyday practitioner?
Absolutely. So this slide just outlines what the remuneration package might look like and how you can earn more with Everyday Independence. So the salary package is $85,960, including your annual leave loading and superannuation. And we've included a few ways that you can increase your salary up to $97,000. So a few of those ways include adding additional billable hours per week to increase your pay up to $5,000 a year. By just meeting the role requirements, you can earn up to $3,000 in bonuses. If you refer a friend through our Changemaker referral scheme, you can earn an additional $2,000 per person that you refer. We have a minimum $1,000 professional development allowance, and we also have a number of internal PD courses like mental health first aid that we do offer as well. Later on in your career, you can also increase your salary by stepping up to a team leader role or choosing to take on a clinical supervisor or therapy mentor role. We also do annual performance and salary reviews, and you can also choose to add on another additional billable hour if you choose, and that will increase your pay by another $5,000 per year.
Essentially, Mel, I feel like you're just talking about all the different ways that it gives choice. So you've got your base salary, but all the other little options or perks as well to build up upon that. And we see our graduates lean into that in so many different ways. So thanks for taking us through those details. Tell us a little bit more about the hubs though, because you get to hear about what it's like in so many of the different offices.
Yes, we do. And we have touched on it that every Wednesday we all go into the hub. So Wednesdays are the day that we have our team meeting. We do training. The hubs are often filled with laughter, lots of food, lots of snacks, drinks. Sometimes there'll be pets as well in the office, like dogs, to play with, which is great. Every hub is a little bit different. But yeah, they're all very vibrant and lots of fun. And I know, Danielle, in some of your hubs, you've had push-up challenges as well, which looks like great fun.
Absolutely. We love to get behind a bit of a challenge, and the push-up challenge is a perceived incentive for it. So I think we're called the Vertical Heroes or something like that for our push-up team name. And I'm actually very glad that it's over because my arms can't take it anymore.
Understandable. So at Everyday Independence, we're making an impact nationally. So we have been enabling better lives by delivering professional therapy-based support to Australia's NDIS-funded children, teenagers, adults, and their families for over 25 years. Over the years, we've built a reputation for consistency and trust as a leading employer of allied health professionals. We offer job security and you get paid fortnightly with additional benefits such as annual leave loading and wellbeing days. We have approximately 900 employees, which includes more than 600 practitioners. We have 40 hubs across 6 states, and we are expanding our reach across Queensland, Tasmania, Western Australia, and New South Wales. Perfect. And the next slide just highlights some of our amazing benefits that we do offer at Everyday Independence. So in the everyday wellbeing space, we offer online yoga and Pilates classes. We have an employee assistance program. We've touched on the hub life. So our hubs are all pet friendly. We have free snacks in the hubs as well, which is great. We've got parking available. We often have social events, like our Adelaide team has gone bowling and they recently did a tree climb as well. We offer discounts across retail, electronics, insurance, fitness, and more. And we offer wellbeing days as well. So you can get 2 days off each year to recharge or unwind. In terms of flexibility, so we offer 12 weeks of paid parental leave and also flexible working arrangements. Being a large national company, you have the option to relocate and also to work from home as well. We do offer purpose leave, which is up to 12 months off to explore your passions or purpose. And you can also purchase leave as well. So you get up to 4 additional weeks of leave on top of your standard 4 weeks of annual leave. Then everyday growth. So professional development. So like I mentioned, you'll get a minimum of $1,000 professional development allowance. We do offer a whole load of internal PD courses as well. We have in-house career coaching. And we have a structured and tailored induction program to get you off to a flying start. We also have our Everyday Connect, which is full of online resources as well and lots of information that you can go to.
Thank you so much, Mel. So in short, if you're interested in joining our August 2025 grad program or even preparing going forward for 2026, we recommend that you visit our website or email careers@everydayind.com.au. And Mel, does that then go to you and the TA team?
It sure does.
Fantastic. So we have gone through a number of aspects of the presentation. We've talked about the induction program, what support looks like, heard it from our graduates, heard from Mel around how you're supported as a graduate, what your salary structure looks like. Now we would like to hear from you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'd love to open it up officially for the Q&A, and I can see there's a number of questions already coming through, which is fantastic. The more the merrier. I'm just going to start reading some of these ones out. And then myself, along with Mel and Meg Walker and Meg Gardner, will begin to address these questions. So Sarah, first of all, thank you so much for your feedback. You've said that you've loved the session so far. Just wondering about the qualifications required for this intake. I've recently graduated from a Master's of Social Work. Mel, would you like to answer that one?
Yes, so we do have some behaviour support practitioner positions available. And some are certainly open to graduates. So for the behaviour support practitioner roles, we can consider qualifications in social work, psychology, health sciences, nursing, so quite a number of different health backgrounds at a bachelor degree or higher. So they would be the roles that would be available for those qualifications.
Thank you, Mel. And our second question there is the grad program available part-time? I can answer that one really clearly. The answer is yes, it is available part-time, but also I'm going to extend on that answer by saying we have a number of different options that are supportive of team members that work part-time as well. So for instance, if you're interested in a 9-day fortnight, a 4-day work week, a 3-day week, fantastic. We've got the opportunity to explore those options for you, knowing that they do work for yourself. Meg Walker and Meg Gardner, have you had other graduates as part of your programs who have maybe worked part-time?
Yeah, I think there's one or two at my hub that one's doing a 9-day fortnight and one is working 4 days a week. Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks, Meg Walker. Meg Gardner, what about yourself?
There isn't any other grads that are part-time, but there's a couple of other practitioners that are. So yeah, definitely common.
Perfect. So it might differ between different hubs in different areas, but across the organisation, yes, it's something that we can offer. Our next question is that this session has been very informative. Thank you so much for that feedback. The questions that you have is Everyday Independence Graduate Program open to international students? I just graduated with a Bachelor in Psychological Science from La Trobe University. Mel, are you happy to answer that one?
Yes, I can see that question there. So yes, we can accept international students. Providing that you've got working rights, that's great. And we can accept the Bachelor of Psychological Science for behaviour support practitioner roles. The next part of the question, if it's available for part-time and full-time, yes, certainly is. And we would require a driver's license. We do offer the option with vehicles. So if you do want to use your own vehicle, you can get reimbursed per kilometre. If you don't have a vehicle, you do actually have the option of being able to lease a company vehicle if you don't already have a vehicle as well.
Excellent. Thanks, Mel. And those company vehicle options are really fantastic as well. There's a number of people that are within my area that utilise that, particularly in regional areas as well, where they might be doing a lot of other driving across their week.
Absolutely.
I have another question, which is how many physiotherapy new graduates are you considering taking in? This is always a question that we get, which is how many OTs, how many physios, or how many speeches? I instead like to say our process of interviewing and applications is to find the right fit team members. So overall, we want to find people that are aligned with our why, what we do, and passionate about supporting people with a disability. So rather than a particular number, sometimes I say to people, if there's 10 really fantastic applicants, wonderful, we'd want to be able to bring those individuals on. Or for instance, if there's only one really strong candidate that aligns with our values and our why, then we may only bring on one. We do also consider demand in different hubs and areas. So for instance, is there a wait list? Are there people that need that support? Is there a physiotherapist already there? Is there a team there? What does it look like? So it's not a straight answer question that I can give you, but I think if you're interested though, my word of wisdom for you would be apply, reach out, have a conversation with Mel about where you are, where you're thinking of applying, and she can help to guide you there as well. Mel, another one for you. How do I apply? Amazing question, Sarah. How does Sarah apply?
Excellent. So if you go to our website and under Work With Us, we have all of our current opportunities advertised, and you can just click apply now and go from there.
Amazing. Thank you, Mel. All right, Meg Walker and Meg Gardner, I'm going to give this question to yourselves, which is what are the qualities that you are looking for in new graduates? So I'd love for you both to reflect on what do you think are the qualities that set up graduates well?
I think being a good communicator is probably a really important one, because most importantly in our role, I think building rapport with our participants and their key people is just so valuable, and you really achieve outcomes a lot quicker when you've got that established trust. So I think, yeah, that's what I would say.
Amazing. Thank you, Meg Gardner. Meg Walker, what's your take?
I definitely agree. I think being open to lots of different experiences and being open to learning new things is a big one. I think, yeah, you need to be good at building rapport, I think is a good thing as well with your participants, having that good open communication as well with both your team and with your participants and their families as well.
Amazing. Thank you, Meg Walker. And I also see it from a very different lens as well. For working with graduates, I think the quality that always stands out to me is when a graduate is curious. So they may not always know the answer, and in many ways, I've worked for 8 years and I don't know the answer all the time. I think, though, the quality of being curious to ask questions, be curious to go out, be curious to explore and see what could or won't work with a participant is going to support you to refine your approach, eliminate options, and explore and find what does work. So there'll be times that you doubt yourself. There'll be times that you question, can I do this? Am I okay? I want you to trust yourself. And in those moments, just say, it's okay. Be curious. Just see what happens. I hope that answers your question. Now, we've got another one here, Mel, that I'd love to direct towards you, which is, would a student with a double degree in arts and social science or sociology be also able to apply?
Yes, they certainly can apply for behaviour support practitioner roles.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mel. And another question is there only one graduate intake per year? Who would like to answer this question?
I can answer that. We have 2 set intakes per year. So we'll have one in August and then one early next year in February.
And the reason for that is we like to align it with the universities as well. So we know some universities finish mid-year and others finish towards the end of the year, where people would get their APRA or their certifications and their release of paperwork from their universities as well within those timelines. So we do like to align it. And you can always look ahead as well. So we're already starting to recruit for 2026 as well. So if you are looking that far ahead, I highly recommend that you jump into that opportunity now. All right, another question. Are we just applying based on region, even if we don't have that specific qualification? I'm not.
I was just going to say, we have all of our current positions advertised. Within those positions, it will state what the requirements are in terms of qualifications. If you're not sure, you can always submit an inquiry on our website, and that will come through to us at the careers team, and we can come back to you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mel. Now, there's actually no other current questions at the moment. So if you do have any others, please pop them in there and we will try to address them. It is also, though, 7 o'clock. So whilst I'm waiting to see if further questions come through, I'm instead going to put a question to our panelists as a bit of a closing statement. I would love to know, what is your number one takeaway that you would want our audience members to have from the presentation tonight or about everyday independence?
I think
who would like to go first?
Meg
Walker? Yeah.
I think for me, it's definitely the amount of support from a range of different people that you get. So those 7 different groups is just amazing. And you always have someone to go through and you get an answer so quickly from many different people. It's awesome to see people's different opinions and experiences. So I think that's the big takeaway that I would give you.
Love it, Meg's. Big theme around support. Meg Gardner, what about yourself?
I think it would be to really strongly consider working in community. I think that it is so rewarding to be able to see participants in the spaces that they spend all their time, and to work with participants for an extended period as well. So you're not just, meeting someone new every week and then sending them on their way. You get to see their journey and just be part of their life, which is so rewarding.
Oh, love that one. Reward, reward, reward. Rewarding for you, rewarding for them. Mel, what about yourself?
For me, the key, I guess, message would be if you're interested in a graduate role with us, would be to go to our website and apply for our graduate program. So the website is www.everydayin.com.au/work-with-us/current-opportunities/. On there, you'll find all of our current opportunities. Like I mentioned earlier, if you don't see the role that you're looking for, feel free to submit an inquiry and we'll come back to you.
Amazing. So reach out for support. And I guess the big messages here tonight has been around you're going to have so many opportunities to extend on your skills. You're going to be supported along the way. You're going to be looked after from a range of different experienced practitioners and team members here in this organisation. So I think for myself, my closing statement is give it a go. If it's something you are interested in, if it is something that is sparking a fire in you that you go, gosh, this just sounds like the work I want to do, then what a great place to grow your skills and extend into what would be an incredible career journey and trajectory for you. So I do want to say a very special thank you to Meg Gardner, Meg Walker, and Mel Walsh for joining me on this presentation tonight. I do also want to take a moment as well to thank Christina Jones as well, who has been working behind the scenes here as well to make sure that everything has run very smoothly. But otherwise, I'd like to thank you, our audience, for joining us. Your questions, your patience, your curiosity. We can't wait to hear from you and hopefully work with you in the future. So have a very pleasant evening. Enjoy your night, and we hope to see you soon at Everyday Independence. Thank you, everyone.